Coke Machine for real fishing. Welcome to Nipissing Ice Report Live plus fishing. So I'm out at Amelia Park at the moment, which is close to the turd turning plant here, but not right beside it. It's closer to, I think it's Chippewa Creek, where it comes to the lake here. So the walk out here was pretty good. The snow was firm, and even where there wasn't a snowmobile trail, it was still like pretty firm to the point where there wasn't enough loose snow to kick up over the skirt of the hut here, which is unfortunate because it's kind of windy, as you might be able to see from everything wobbling around me. So the ice is about, I measured it, it's just over 19 inches. So got a solid basis of ice out here. Looks like in this particular area people have been driving out in their trucks and whatnot. There are definitely snowmobiles around. This isn't a particularly busy area, but I figured I would try out here. I was debating whether or not to go to Yellock for the morning, but I'm going to be there tomorrow with Lana. And then this weekend, my brother's going to be coming, and we're going to try to really get our fish on as much as we can for the next couple of days until the season is done. So what that means is on Saturday my brother's going to show up, and we're going to possibly ride out to the islands and fish out there with Corey G. Either Saturday, oh, I got a fish down here, Saturday or Sunday, and possibly on Saturday or Sunday we'll be or possibly Sunday might be going out with Lake Nipissing Outfitters, and then on Monday I'm going down to Paradise Cove Resort to hang out with my dad and the fam and try to get our fish on at that end of the lake. So there should be a lot of fishing. I don't know if I'll be live streaming at all because, you know, it might not be the best opportunity to do so, but we'll see. So stay tuned for that. But I definitely will be filming stuff as we're out there. So like I said, I haven't really fished out at this spot too much, or at all, really. I fished like a block over from here on one of the many lake accesses on the North Shore here. But this is the first time I've walked out of this particular park. So I heard somebody mention it, so I said, all right, I'll check it out. I don't know if it's particularly good, but when I went out at Yellock there on Saturday with my son. Beautiful weather, nice and warm. There was one jumbo perch that came in, and I thought, like, oh, it's just one of those days where you get one perch and you're hoping for, 5, 6. And then as soon as the sun went down, I caught about, I guess it was about 5 perch in quick succession there, and then a bunch of walleye started coming in. So I had about 3 walleye come in, and my sun was getting cold and it was getting dark, and I was like, how can I walk away from this scene where the walleye are biting, but I don't want my son to get frozen feet, So we caught 3 walleye. They weren't keeper size, but it's nice to have a walleye bite. And then we had to go. But I've been hearing that there's been a lot of fish biting out that way. That's why I was debating whether or not to go there this morning. But in the mornings I really don't have a heck of a lot of time. That's why I'm only doing a live stream for an hour or less or whatever. I don't have my woolly socks on today, so we'll see how much my crummy boots here, how long they can keep my feet warm for. So far I've seen 1 mark come in on my radar here. You guys might recognize here that I've changed some things on my radar. I guess a lot of people were sort of ripping on my little goldfish that I had on my radar there. And then as well, I've got it zoomed in at the bottom there, so my mark is, as you can see, is jumping all around, is very, very visible. It's zoomed in down to the last few feet, although in this case, when I went out here, I had my Navionics on, and I walked out to a spot that it claimed was 19 feet, and as you can see by the number there, that Navionics lied to me again. It's only 12.6 feet, but I'm hoping maybe some of the perch or whatever are coming in shallow now. If anybody has me on Instagram, you can see some pictures, or a picture of my son with the jumbo perch we caught. We had a good meal that night. We got 4 nice jumbos, and then also got some really good drone footage while we were out there. It was fantastic weather, to the extent I was fishing in a t-shirt, which is great. I was going to go through the comments here. Eugen, good morning to you. Thanks for the good luck. I hope there's some fish too. I kind of wish I was doing a live stream when I had was fishing in Yellock there on Saturday. To be honest with you, I had my action camera going as well, and then the action camera, I was packing up, getting ready to go, and then that's when the fish started biting, and I didn't have enough time to set up my action camera again. I was just like, oh, that's how it always goes. But hopefully we start seeing some action. Bill W., good morning to you. Thanks for the good luck. I have seen one mark come in. I've got my favorite buckshot rattle spoon with a salted minnow head on. Garnet Lees. Yeah, I don't know. I know like on Nipissing that the water is down quite a bit, but the difference between 12.6 and 19, the 19 feet it said was supposed to be in this very spot, is pretty huge. Like the lake's probably down, 4 or 5 feet, but not that many feet. So I guess we'll see. I know on when I was in Yellock there, it was a little bit deeper. I was in about 17 feet. First I set up in about 15 feet and I didn't get any action. And then I went out a little bit further to about 17 feet, and then things started going on. But it was nice warm weather, and I had a little bit more time on Saturday, so I had the opportunity to move pretty easily. But here I don't. I just have my 1 hour that I'm going to be here, and we'll see if this pans out at all. So I was out with Lake Nipissing Outfitters on Friday. Yeah, Friday. They took myself, my son, and my wife out. Very nice of them. And then they said the bite was kind of slow that day, and it was definitely. I got a very small wally, probably in the 6-inch range, and he looked and looked and looked and looked and looked at my bait for so long, so I really had to work on that fish. But I got him eventually, and he also had stolen my minnow off my dead stick, and that minnow was in his mouth when I caught him, so I guess he figured he was getting a free lunch. I think I left the minnow in his mouth anyway for him to enjoy and grow bigger. But it's nice day out here today, aside from the wind. It's one of those days where my hut started moving around because I wasn't sitting in it yet. I was just setting it up, trying to put some snow on the skirt, and it definitely started shuffling over. So it's not a crazy wind, but I'd say it's 20 with gusts. It was supposed to be gusts up to 40 or something, and that's the kind of gust that moves your hut just a little bit. Yeah, Mike O'Rourke. It definitely has the GPS function on the Striker 4 there. One of the many great features of this little gizmo. I usually have everything organized on my Navionics app for marking all my spots. So I haven't really used the GPS on the Garmin yet. I do, like my son did throw a variety of objects into the lake during his younger years, and so I used it then to mark off where stuff was. Of course, he always threw, I'm talking like pliers, his sunglasses, stuff like that. But it was always in like 15 feet of water, or it was kind of unlikely I was going to be able to get back out there to snorkel them up. I'm going to put on a rattle bait for a minute here, because I'm going to keep this one on deck though, because that's it looks huge, but it's not. It's the buckshot rattle spoon, one of the smaller ones they make, salted minnow head. I don't have any fresh minnows at the moment because I guess mine passed away. Put on a little wee rattler. Put on. Yeah, but it was great on Saturday when they just started coming in hard. It was really sweet to get on a bite. Like I sometimes say before I had a kid, my brother and my friends and I, we would go out and we would seriously like fish like dusk or dawn till dusk and beyond. And you know, sometimes those bites come in, especially perch. Sometimes those bites come in at, you know, noon, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., anytime really. And if you're there to catch it, then you'll have a real hot perch bite. But when you're only coming out for an hour at a time, it's sometimes difficult to coordinate getting on top of those bites. Sorry, my lure is stuck on itself. It's one of those rattle. I got the clack and wrap on here. Let me show you that. I've been having a lot of luck these days with those tungsten bead doodads with a little bug on them. Anyway, this looks huge, but it's not. Again, I don't know, I said that before, but this is one of my favorites for rattling them up. Clack and wrap. They don't make them anymore. You can find them. It's worth having a couple of them. But like many lipless cranks, they get caught on the line and on themselves a little bit sometimes. And you can fix them while they're down there by sort of jiggling them. Wow, this one did it again. Not sure what I did wrong here. You tangled on itself again. There we go. Usually you can fix them while they're under the water still, but wasn't panning out for me. I was debating whether or not to go to Calendar Bay again this morning. The hut that I've been using out there, the buddy that was letting me use it, I believe he sold it now. Corey, how are you doing this morning, buddy? Have you been out fishing lately? I was just saying that on Saturday I took the boy out to Yellock there and caught a bunch of fish, but I think I sent you pictures of that already. Right after sunset. Seems like they're coming in pretty good then. And I guess I'm going to be fishing with Lana Chevrier tomorrow. That's the plan. So we'll see if they're still biting in Yellock tomorrow. I hope so. The weather's been like fairly consistently warmer as of late. As you can see, I don't have my heater on. Fishing barehanded. It's a little chilly and not too bad. It's mostly just the wind. Garnet Lees. I'm a 3-hour drive from Nipissing. I'd like to come down for some ice camping. Where would you recommend to park and drive the sled out from? From what I've seen around on the lake, I feel like your best bet would be to go to the end of Birch Grove Road in South Bay there. And you can park on the ice. Though the last I looked, it was kind of gummy. There's also a big parking lot there. And it says sort of confusing things because the parking lot says 12-hour parking, but then it says 48-hour overnight parking. Oh, we got a fish. Bite it. We got a big mark down there. No. It's always got to be a fish that shows up, eh? And then disappears. Oh, still down there. See if I can get him towards my... That's where this fish wants this rattler, but he just doesn't know. Just doesn't know where to go. Every time I pop it up, he appears to look, take a real close look at it. Look at him. He's like, do I bite it or not? Come on. That's what I'm finding with rattle baits these days, is that a lot of times fish will be really interested by it and then not go for it. I feel like this is a pike the way he's moving around down there. But a pike would probably nail it if he was. Come on, fish. Man, it's like he really wants to look at it. I got a bump on my dead stick there. Come on. Every time I rattle this bait, he shows up right there. I can only imagine what it's like to be in close proximity to this clack and wrap. It could also be a herring now that I think about it. Those guys are real speedy fish. I'm just gonna try to throw on my buckshot rattle spoon with the minnow on it and see if he wants to take a shot at that. Thinking maybe if I put a... Come on, move fast. Wait, he's still down there. Okay, let's see if he'll go for this. Buckshot rattle spoon coming down. Salted minnow. Of course, he disappears. Alright, I'm gonna try. I'll rock this for a minute and then we'll see if that clack and wrap with maybe a minnow head on the front, if that will get him back in the zone. He didn't take any hits at it, he just looked at it and kept coming back. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to... Seemed like that fish was really attracted to like broad motions here. And then he disappeared. Yeah, I had a good look at the Deepwater Point access point there the other day, and because a lot of people were saying it was really washed out. And yeah, I looked at it and it definitely looked like it was looking better, but that's a place where people will park on the ice. And because of how destroyed this sort of launch area was, you can't really park on the ice there, but there is a parking lot, but it's like a half K back down the road, which isn't very handy at this point because all the snow that would be on the road is all melted. So if you're taking your sled out from there, you're kind of in a pickle because you're driving on gravel for a half K. So I'm sure nobody wants to do that. All right. So I guess I'm gonna try putting that rattle bait back on with a minnow head on it and see if I can attract some more attention. Actually, it won't be a minnow head, it'll be a minnow midsection. So let's see how that fares. Toughest part when you're using a lipless crank like this with a little piece of bait on it is you got to use the front hook because the back hook will really throw off the action, and then just the rattling of it will shake the minnow off sometimes. Of course, I seem to be having bad luck. No, it's on there. Might have to throw on one of these tungsten minnows or tungsten beads with a little bug on it. Seems like that can get those finicky fish. Okay. Rattling out. Yeah, definitely at the end of Birch Grove there, there's lots of space on the ice where people are parking. But yeah, there's definitely some wet spots there because a lot of operators are driving out of there. So there's a lot of activity there, sort of eating away at the ice. Calendar Bay, everybody's launching out. I'm sure you can park on the ice there if you wanted to go there. Lots of people are driving around. Last time I was there, the construction guys had sunk like a skid steer close to the dock there. So I'm not sure what was going on. It didn't seem like it was too far under the ice, just a little bit. I'm sure it was still a big ordeal to get it out. I haven't used my underwater camera yet this year. It would have been nice to see what that fish was that showed up. Sometimes Nipissing can be pretty difficult to see things in, but when you're inside the hut here, it's pretty good. But if you're in the open air, the glare can really throw the image off. But as well, yeah, Nipissing sometimes is full of sediment. And other times it's not as bad, not too bad. You can see about 5-6 feet with the camera. But I've been seeing a few videos lately where guys are like Joey T. I'm sure lots of you guys are familiar with that guy. He was posting a few underwater camera pictures that are from they're on not Nipissing, Simcoe there, where it's just like clear. Jeff, welcome to the party, buddy. I hope you're doing okay. So far, nothing catching. Something came after my rattle bait and gave it a real good look, and then disappeared. Yeah, definitely Simcoe has got some extremely clear water. You know, I saw somewhere, it was one of the Facebook groups there, somebody was asking about fishing. What river is it? It was somewhere outside of Toronto there. And he was asking about people ice fishing on Lake Ontario like that, like close to Toronto. And I was just like, wow. Everybody sort of told him that as long as the ice was, or on better years of ice, they would, but probably not this year. From what I've been told, it's basically like spring in southern Ontario. Looking at my game cameras that are down there, my cellular game cameras, it definitely goes from being completely snowed up to being like absolutely melted. I think even here it was 4 degrees yesterday. We're back down to negative temperatures again. Come on, fish. So right now I'm on, I guess you'd say, fishing vacation. My job allows me to accumulate some significant amount of bank time. I usually work all the holidays and whatnot because of the rotation I have. Because I work Saturday to Tuesday nights, so it doesn't really make sense for me to take off holidays when they're on a Monday or whatnot, because it's sort of right in the middle of my rotation, and it would just screw up my, like, working nights screws with you pretty good, and then you take a day off in the middle of it, and it's not really worth it. Plus, I like to work on the holidays so I can bank the time, because I get time and a half, and then I can take the time off when the world isn't writhing with hosers, if you catch my drift. I always find trying to do anything on a long weekend is it's not so bad when you're ice fishing. I know in the summertime, when you're at whatever lake, the launches are all packed, and all sorts of people ripping around in different kinds of states, which they shouldn't be ripping around in. So yeah, through gaining bank time from working the holidays, I pretty much double my vacation time in a year, and then so that means that I get to take an extra couple weeks off here and there, or spread it all out. So I took off an entire rotation. So from here on till the very end of the season, I'm gonna be fishing. At least I'm gonna try. Try to fish as hard as I can, but within limitations. If it was the olden days, I'd be fishing basically morning to night for the next, I guess it's a week today. It's gonna be the last day. Yeah, I'm looking forward to heading to Paradise Cove there and seeing that whole scene. It's sort of closer to the French River there, so it's a whole area I haven't really explored at all. And even though Regan Thompson there has done the grand prize for the Nipissing Ice Reports for the last 2 years, I haven't actually met the guy in person. I've talked to him on the phone. I've definitely via text and whatnot, but never met the guy. So this is going to be my opportunity. And I guess when I went to Lake Nipissing Outfitters on Friday, I got to meet Al and his family there, who run that. So I met a few people this year. I met Garnet Hughes from South Shore Ice Condos. I met not Diane Young, but her son, with Lake Nipissing ice fishing charters. I met people running Perot's Prime Time. So I'm getting up there, meeting people in the game. Ian, so you're going to the Detroit River in Windsor at the end of the month to hammer big walleyes. Yeah, I guess it's going to be right into the right before the spawn, eh? Pretty happening down there. I've never gone to the Detroit River. I've heard good things. Bernie, how are you doing this morning? How did your fishing go last week? You guys slayed the fish. I feel like every year the ice season just zips past. You're always like, oh, it's 2.5 months. It's gonna be nice and long, and then all of a sudden you're right at the end of it. Same thing with the ice reports. It's a real flurry when it's going on. I tell you, it's just like it's going, and then you're like, okay, there's enough ice to fish. Pre-spawn fun, eh? You know, I used to, for a while there, I used to go down to Moon River, coming off of Georgian Bay there. It was right when the season opens in May, and yeah, we were still learning how to catch walleye. You know, I am still learning as well, but back then we didn't know anything. But yeah, I remember guys get down there and be fishing and, you know, doing pretty good. And one guy caught a 14-pound walleye, and he decided to keep it. And here's the funny thing about that guy is I don't know what kind of state the guy driving the boat was in, and this guy definitely wasn't driving the boat, and thank God. But he was so hammered that he walked off the end of the dock, and then he got on the boat. Like, he crawled out of the water, got on the boat. His buddies drove him out there, and then he caught a 14-pound walleye. It was pretty impressive. And then he kept it, which, I don't know. You know, if that's obviously like a trophy class fish, I'd probably take a picture of it, maybe measure it, and then definitely send it back. You know, they make pretty fantastic replicas these days that probably would do that fish justice. So Jeff, I'm fishing at Amelia Park out here by along Memorial Drive there. I guess it's technically some offshoot of Memorial. It's by the baseball field that's out here. I walked out about a good kilometer hoping to find 19 feet of water. Instead I found 12 feet. But I mean, there's all kinds of, not all kinds, but there's like 4 or 5 ice huts out here. And plus there's a river that comes out not so far from here, so I think there'd be some attraction to this area, but maybe not. So you had some fun last weekend, eh, Bernie? You caught a few. Did you catch any in the slot? I caught a few. Excuse me. Real nice jumbos out in the Yellock area there. They all came in right after sunset, like 10 minutes after sunset, and it was great weather. Yeah, the funny part was about the guy who was turbo hammered and fell off the dock, then hopped in a boat and caught fish of a lifetime, is that I was at the end of the dock there fishing for catfish, mudcats. They're the operator that was on Moon River there, dude by the name of Dave, I think. he told me, he's like, if you get out there at the end of the dock, right when the mosquitoes start to bite, you'll catch endless amounts of bullhead catfish. And I was like, I will definitely check that out. Sure enough, I set up at the end of the dock, with a 12-pack of beer in a bucket, and I was catching mudcat after mudcat. I had a bucket full of them. And then these guys cruise out. They don't even see me because they're blinded by, whatever. And then the guy falls in the water, and I'm just like, oh, geez. And then they're like, oh, man, we didn't even see you there. What are you doing out here? I'm just catching endless amounts of mudcats. And those things are delicious. Let me add that. Good on you there, Bernie. 2 in the freezer, eh? I'm gonna try different lure here. Yeah, I have yet to catch a keeper walleye this year. Caught a few. I think all the ones I've caught so far have been under. And then I caught a decent pike. Sorry, I'm just trying to pick out. Alright, I'm going to fire on a little tungsten bug for the moment. Yeah, I got these boots on that I got from Canadian Tire. They're not particularly awesome, and I usually just have them for driving in my truck. I've got way better boots for ice fishing at home if I was going to be spending the day. But usually with some woolly socks, these particular boots do pretty good. My other boots there. Last year I was fortunate enough to, I guess I contacted all these companies and asked them to send me stuff for review. And so I've got 2 pairs of boots that are high quality. Plus I've got Baffin Titans, which are a fantastic ice fishing boot. But I've got the Nats boots, which are really great for weight wise. But my favorites are these ones that are basically muck imitation boots, and they are made by a company called Bass Dash. And it's funny because they're not much cheaper or any cheaper than the muck boots, but they definitely work well. I think they're my favorite. Definitely, they're much lighter than the Baffin Titans, but Baffin Titans are pretty much indestructible, and aside from the weight. Alright, I can check my other bait here. Live bait. I didn't hear it get stolen, so I'm going to assume the minnow head's still on there. Yeah. Just putting down my dead stick here. Okay. I think the last time I was fishing out here, I caught it wasn't exactly in this area, but I caught a herring. So your brother's coming out for the weekend for the last kick, Bernie, pulling the shack off on Sunday. You say I'm welcome to join you on Saturday if you like. I got a lot of offers going down over the next couple days, so I'll keep your offer in mind. Let's see. I meant to fish with so many people this year, including you. But it's like, season just breezed on by. But I think Saturday I'm going out with Corey G. Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. And I think Sunday I'm going out with Lake Nipissing Outfitters. But we'll see. We'll see. And tomorrow I'm going out to Yellock there with Lana Chevier. She's got like she's starting a little small business there of running a hut. I think she's just got one bungalow she's running out there at the moment. So Ken, you're going out on Sunday for the last kick. Did you get it this weekend, Ken? I was checking out the picture of the rig you sent me there. Looks pretty awesome. Jeff, in regards to whether or not I've caught a blue pickerel, I have indeed, as well as a blue perch. I've caught like a few over the years, but I've definitely caught a couple of each. Nothing too crazy, but it's always wild to see them when they're that sort of color. So Ken, you got 20 perch, 7 wallies, 7 wallies under, 1 over. Was that on Saturday? Oh. Yeah. Was that on Saturday? Did you because I was out on Saturday and it seemed like right after sunset it was a big surge of bites. It was great. Come on. There's got to be some fish coming along here. Said one big perch, pretty chewed by a big pike, I guess, eh? You know, one time I was fishing in open water, I think it was Lake Penage, near Espanola there, and I caught like hammer handle pike, like not super small, but you know, not a huge pike, and all of a sudden it got real heavy. I was like, is he in the weeds or something? And I saw this other pike had like a much bigger pike had T-boned him and it was just like sawing down on him. And then eventually let go and I reeled in the little pike and he definitely had some chew marks on him. Yeah, you know, I feel like I've caught a few of the blue wallies down in the South Shore when I was out with South River Resorts there one time. What area, or yeah, who are you out with again, Jeff? When you were fishing last week? Because you were in a bungalow, right? Alright, I'm gonna put on something flashy with a minnow on it here. Getting down to the last 15 minutes before I gotta go. Let's see. I had a chartreuse. What was it? Chartreuse dinner bell that seemed to be working quite well the other day, but to the point where I actually broke a hook off of it. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna put on slab grabber. Fire this guy on. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. So shore ice condos. good to me. Boy, I was intending to be fishing on Monday and Tuesday, but Sunday night, my wife sends me a text at 2 in the morning, says the boy like woke up and just started, whoop, just had a hit on my, I had a hit, oh, got another hit on my dead stick, holding the dead stick. Somebody showed up, hit the dead stick, and took off. Huh. Well, it seems like the fish are coming in down there. Hopefully they didn't steal my... Let me take a look at that. Let's see if my minnow head's still on there. Grabbed it and ran. Minnow head's still on. Getting my dead stick down there. Sorry, I keep ringing the bell. Alright. Got my dead stick, 8 to 10 inches off the bottom. I'm surprised I can't see it on my radar there. I got the slab grabber here on the right. And I walked out here and I was pretty toasty. Now I feel like I'm starting to chill here. It's that wind. I tell you, it doesn't even need to be that cold. If you got a good solid wind on you, it'll suck the heat right out of you. I noticed a lot of these guys on Simcoe there have been rocking these, like a rig where you have something on the bottom and then something 18 inches up. And I have done that in the past, but it seems like I've seen a lot of guys really rocking that hard for whitefish on Simcoe. Lana, welcome to the party. I was gonna ask, are we still on? But looks like we are. How's the bite been out there? I saw you had lots of pictures of lots of fish the other day. Was that on Friday that you caught all those fish, or were you catching them all weekend there? Yeah, I was actually out there on Saturday with my son. And I was gonna send you a message and ask you which hut was yours, even though I feel like I was somewhat certain I knew which one it was, because I was flying my drone around and I was gonna get some shots of that for you, but I also saw there were people out there, so I didn't want to spook them by buzzing them with a drone. But if you were out there, you would have seen a guy and his kid in a flip-up hut on Saturday. The bite was pretty good right at the at sunset. A couple nice jumbos. Yeah, I was going with, like, do you have some sort of crazy light strip on the side of your larger bungalow, Lana? Because like when the sun went down, I was like, wow, that's a that's it's very bright. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, because it's also significantly bigger than a lot of the other huts out there. Yeah. So in that hut, you have, it's like basically set up like one of the ice bungalows. Is that the deal? You got like a washroom out there, a beds and stuff. Nice. That's always a nice touch. You know. Uh Probably the time frame I can work with there is probably like, like mid-afternoon to like maybe 7, if that works for you. I probably can't be out there for too long. And where are these fish? Nice. It's like I'm hoping to catch, some nice jumbo perch. Maybe catch the sunset bite of the wallies if they're coming. All right, I'm gonna throw on another rattler here, small rattle bait. And the wind's really picking up out here. It's getting chilly. All right, small rattle bait. What do we got? All right, it's one of my favorites. Northland Golden Rattler. Probably have a specific name for it. All right, I got 6 minutes. 6 minutes to make this happen. Nice. Well, I do, in the Yellock area, I always remember having some real wild days catching crazy amounts of perch. And of course, some of the bigger perch I've ever seen in my life. I've got some picks. See, I usually keep about 4 or 5, like enough to make one meal. But at the end of the season, sometimes I'll keep a few more. When I used to have friends come and visit, they would take a bunch home. So we never hit the actual limit of how many you're allowed to take. It was like we take 20, 25, something like that, and then that was enough. And that was between a whole bunch of people. Yep. Well, I'm just about ready to hit the hay here. It's going to be looking forward to having the next bunch of days off. Being able to fish a fair amount. But I'm still out here right after my shift, and I'm ready to go home. If the fish were biting. All right, Lana, I will. I'll probably send you a direct message tomorrow morning or something. So good luck. Good luck out there. Yeah, I'm gonna hold out for 3 more minutes, Ken, and then I'm gonna get going here. It's too bad whatever fish came and looked at my lure real hard didn't bite. So it would have been nice to catch something. But so far this year I've tried Calendar Bay. I've caught more herring there than I've caught anywhere else. I've tried South Bay, and I've tried along the lake shore here on the north side, a few of the entry points just off of some of the little subdivisions here. I've tried Sunset Point, and I still have yet to try the West Arm. Of course, I'm always looking for places that are closest to home. And when I was at Sunset Point, I don't think I caught anything at Sunset Point, but it seems like everywhere it's on and it's off there. So Jeff and Ken, do either you guys ever go out for like the trout in any of the stocked areas after Nipissing closes? Because I usually at least try once. I usually get out, fail once, and then I think actually, and I'll probably do it this year because I realize my son's going to be in school next year, so I can't just take him fishing all the time. But I'll probably try to take him out for as long as I can. It'll probably be 2 or 3 weeks where I can get out to some of these trout lakes, depending on how the weather's going to be. And then I don't know, one day I'll figure out how to catch trout through the ice. But maybe it's going to be this year. We'll see. So in that case, Jeff, there might be a chance to get even more than one fish before the ice is all gone. I know once the ice starts breaking up, I'll be getting my drone out there. It looks great when it starts breaking up to get in the drone. I don't know if anybody saw any of my drone videos from last year. I usually hit a few places along 533 there, like Timber, Crooked. Trying to think other places I've gone to. I've definitely gone to McConnell Lake Road and tried a few of those different lakes up there, but no luck. Anyway, so we're at the end of the broadcast here. So thanks everybody who showed up. And if you can, hit the like button while you can. And I will be fishing for the next bunch of days. I may be live streaming. I may not be live streaming. We'll see. And then we'll go from there. But keep your eyes out. I'll probably at least try to live stream for at least an hour, somewhere between now and the end of the season. So have yourselves a great day. We'll talk to you guys soon.